Well, thank you.
Well, that's great to hear. By the way, my name is Allison. I'm the Client Relations Manager here at ABS. And
Right.
for today, I'll be facilitating this meeting. And first of all, thank you for taking the time to meet with me today. All right. Well, can you first introduce yourself and your company for us?
Sure. My name is Mike Botelho, and I have two Synergy Home Care franchises, one in Rhode Island, one in Massachusetts.
All right, thank you so much. And let's talk about first before hiring a VA. First, what are the challenges that you were facing before hiring a VA?
Well, I think the startup business, it's a cost associated anytime you bring on an employee. I think, in this business, what I've learned so far is anything that you can, I don't want to say, yeah, I guess outsource, of the different roles that you can get somebody competent to come in and the coverage that you would want is definitely worth it.
All right. And how about the that impact your daily operations and growth?
Well, for me as a single owner, have a partner. So what I've found so far is that in this business, you don't get a lot of time to pause and reflect and think about you want to set your business up. Everything comes at you um, quickly. So you end up, I think for me, you end up in a situation where you're doing a lot of different things, but you're not really getting good at any of them because you're spread thin. So, that's, I think, a big challenge that having a virtual assistant come in and help out with, where it takes things off my plate so that I can focus on the activities that will grow the business.
Yes, I understand. Being the owner, you have to wear all the hats, but
Yeah,
glad that you got a VA from us. But what made you decide to hire a VA?
not my first VA. Was exposed to virtual assistants. We went to the franchise meeting last year, and I thought that it would be something that would be a good fit for my business. So I went with a virtual recruiter, and so far that relationship has worked out really well. As we started to grow in hours and found myself in that place again where I'm getting pulled in all these different directions, I decided that I wanted to add a virtual scheduler, and was 3 months ago.
Mhm. All right. And how about your VA? How about Via? How has she helped address the challenges that you face?
She's very good on the phone, so it takes a lot of the heat off me because I can focus on tasks. I can leave the office. I can go meet with referral partners or whatever it is I'm doing, client. And I know that there's somebody competent, kind, answering my phone, which is in this business very important. And in terms of running the schedule and interacting with the caregivers and all the things that she does, she's doing a great job. And the other thing is that she brings the technical know-how that you would assume a younger person would bring to any type of business role, and great with and knows how to use the different channels that we use in the office, and she's been able to sort of right into the role that we have for her.
All right. Well, that's great to hear. I can't wait to give a shout out for her once we're done with this meeting. But how would you describe your VA's communication and work ethic? I'd like to share. I was a team leader before I got promoted to this role, and I've had the chance to train Via as well. And proud of where she is right now, and I'm really glad that I get to hear your feedback as well.
Yeah,
The-
but yeah,
And
it's great.
how about
Uh,
the VA's communication and work ethic in clients? First thought when it comes to hiring VAs overseas, would worry about the VA's accent.
I had concerns about that too. I think in this setting that we're in, we're healthcare or enough, I guess. I think people are a little bit more accepting of whether it's an answering service or whether it's a outsourced individual answering the call. I don't think it's as taboo as it used to be, and I don't think it reflects negatively on the company. And you really think about it, it's a business owner that's willing to put these pieces in place to consistency. I actually think it's a good thing. Of course, you get older clients that will say like, "I can't understand her," and like that. But I think for the most part, most people are pretty accepting. And I think the nice thing about Via is that she's comfortable enough now where when she answers the phone and people start asking her questions about business, what we do, our service area, things like that, doesn't give off that call center vibe. Like she presents herself as somebody that's actually in the office. I actually had my mom do a mystery shop on her to kind of what her experience is. And my mom's tough, and she gave her a 9 out of 10. So that was good for me.
This sounds wonderful. I think that's a first for me, the VA. How about Mike? There any unexpected benefits since bringing a VA on board?
I'll tell you, in this business, just being able to like my phone off and know that somebody else is going to answer it and they're not going to in the business when they answer the phone in itself, there's a lot of value there. And I think any owner, especially a single owner that's trying to do a bunch of different things, can relate to that. In this business, you're sort of at the customer's request when they need you. There are urgent things that come up that you really can't put off, but at least I know, have somebody that can help the customer as best as they can. And then if it has to escalate to me, then I can step in. But I know that I can detach myself from the day-to-day stuff to actually run the business instead of an employee of my business.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much. And how about the other tasks or responsibilities? What are those that have become easier for you since hiring VA?
I think staying organized definitely helps with that. We put together a certification tracker. The platform that we're using for scheduling isn't the greatest at tracking certifications. So, it's like, hey, can you put something together where we can start tracking these different things? She did on issues. I mean, she's are at the point now where we're starting to get a little bit more aggressive with new clients, and I think she's going to be a big help in sort of our CRM eventually, and really understanding where prospects are in the pipeline. And I think what I would like to see is us work up to the point where we get an inquiry, and I may be on the road doing sales visits, and I can just say, hey, Via, can you check in with this, see what they need, see if we can set up a home assessment. Another nice thing too is we do a lot of veterans, and the VA in our area has rolled out a new referral distribution program that they're using. So it really is now a first come, first serve type situation. So having a VA that can monitor email and monitor the website so that if we do get a new referral, you're sort of first to respond to it, because unfortunately that's what it is if you want to get these VA referrals now. That's a nice benefit and a nice task that I sort of put on her. It takes a lot of the pressure off me to make sure that I'm always checking my phone, always checking my email for these referrals that could come in at any time.
All right. Well, I'm so happy to hear that, Mike. You deserve a work-life balance as well. Exactly the kind of support we aim to provide. Now, your improvements and growth since hiring a VA. Have you been able to focus on other aspects of your business or even take time off?
Yeah, well, went to the annual franchise meeting last week. I wouldn't call that a vacation, but I was able to detach. Didn't have to be on my phone the whole time. I could actually pay attention and learn stuff, which was nice. And it was really the first time that I stepped away from my business in really over a year, extended period of time. And especially now, I've got 20 clients, and we're billing about 400 hours a week. So we're busy enough where there's a lot of fear that comes into like, I'm going to take a Friday off, or I'm going to take a Monday off, it is. Again, like it's nice to have somebody that can sort of anchor the daytime operations and clients where they need to go so that I don't have to do it every day. So it is helping a little bit with the work-life balance. And I think as we continue to grow, we just opened up our second office. So that territory, that area still needs to develop, looking at marketing to get leads. And then we're also going to sign up for Medicaid. So, again, we're in a position where we're going to get a lot more inquiries. We're going to have a lot more to follow up with. And these are things that I know she'll be able to help with. And the scheduler, what we hired her for. Schedule in this business tends to run itself more or less. It's still day-to-day maintenance, but it doesn't change unless something changes it. So nice to be able to have somebody that has the versatility to take on other tasks and still focus on big picture scheduling stuff. So that helps too, and I think as we grow, I think this year, I think we're heading in the right direction. And I think that V is really going to help us get to that where we want to be at the end of this year.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing that, Mike. It really shows how much of a difference made. Now, on your final thoughts, what would you say to the other business owners considering a VA?
Yeah, if they're in the same business that I am. You'd have to look at it from a cost point. This is a thin margin business. It's a volume game. More money that you're spending on payroll taxes, the less money that you have to incentivize caregivers, that can help grow the business. So I think for me, and I would say for any business owner, it makes sense to consider yeah, virtual assistants to fill those roles where you don't really need an in-person employee. Uh, Figured out pretty early on in this business that if I'm going to be paying payroll taxes on you, I'm going to expect you to do in-person stuff. Stuff that really doesn't require an in-person presence. As far as I'm concerned, that stuff needs to be,
All right.
put on a virtual assistant. It's not something that really requires a lot of thought or strategic planning. It makes financial sense. The consistency that you get out of a virtual assistant too. I mean, I have a pretty bad cold right now. I don't know if you can tell. I know V is sick. Didn't give it to her, I can tell you that much. But it's here. And 8 o'clock, she's ready to work. She's working up until 5. She's working after hours, even though we don't require that. But I do see that she's tasks and messaging and things like that. I don't know if you're gonna get that type of commitment. Somebody that you would hire in person that's at a comparable pay scale, going to have those sort of the same staffing challenges that you have with care professionals. You're sort of at this level employment options. So in terms of like for your buck, like you really can't beat a virtual assistant, in my opinion. And it's something that I'm going to continue to use as we continue to grow. Next step would probably be getting an outside of business hours scheduler or weekend scheduler or something along those lines. We're not quite there yet, but I would say I'd like to think by the end of this year, we're in here to kind of fill in some of these gaps outside of business hours.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Mike. And for my last question, is there any words of appreciation or feedback for your VA?
Yeah, no, I mean, we talk every day. We stay connected. She knows if there's something that is questionable or doesn't look right, or if she needs training, I can give her that feedback, and she takes it. She understands. Like I'm trying to help develop her. Got the emotional intelligence to take that kind of constructive feedback. Um, and I haven't seen her make the same mistake twice. And something that I told her in the beginning, like, okay, you're going to make mistakes. I'll help you. Try not to repeat those same mistakes. And that's really all I ask for from anybody. And she's done a really good job with that. Like, usually I only have to tell her something once and then it's done. I don't really have to, on her work, which is great. Makes my life a lot easier. So she's a good addition to the team and fits in. She works well with our team leader, our recruiter. Even though the recruiter comes from a different assistant device, they still play nice together, which is great. She's a great addition to the team, and very happy to have her.
All right. Well, thank you for your kind words, Mike. We'll continue to work hard for you. And also, thank you so much for sharing your feedback. It truly means a lot to us. We're so grateful to have you as our client. And you look forward to continuing to support your success. If you ever need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. You can send me a text, give me a call, or send us an email. I'm actually the one handling Mr. Gina's email. So if there's any concerns or questions, you can easily reach out. And lastly, congratulations in advance for your expansion.
Thank
Thank you, Mike. That's about it for today. Thank you again for your time.
you.
Thank you. You have a good day, Mike.
You too.